Okay, so this is going to be a brief message. Every once in a while when I'm cleaning up or tidying up my space, I just take out the cards and I just connect, right? With my guides. And I just thought, okay, let me just play, especially with these, because I don't use them enough. And I just thought, let me just play around and let's see. Let me just connect with spirit because, listen, I'm not going to lie, I love it. I know, again, if you read my bio, if you're new here, you'll see I fought this for a long time. I did not want to be different. I didn't really appreciate my gift. And now that I do, I love tapping it. It's such a good feeling, okay? I'll put it that way. But anyway, so since I just wanted to play and just communicate with spirit, I was like, all right, what can you give me that I can pass on to the collective? What lesson or what information do you want me to impart to them? And what fell out first was the Six of Cups. All right, so this is a card of like either past life or just nostalgia. It could also be like past cycles. But I was asking, like, is this regarding specific situations in this lifetime, or like what are we referring to this one? And what came through, what really stuck out to me was the crow. And when I see the crow, part of it is magic, part of it is with Saint Germain. Part of it I connect with Saint Germain, but the other part is the crow is also connected to Saturn. Okay, so that's in Hinduism it's referred to as Shani for Saturn. Okay, but there's nothing to be scared of. He really is a teacher. Saturn is that teacher that gives you those life lessons that you can really carry throughout your lifetime. These are hard lessons learned, but you feel that much more capable because of them. Okay, so that is what came through. And then when I started to tap into that energy a little bit more, I felt like they wanted me to let you know that your good deeds are not unnoticed. So I feel like that is for either a specific person or specific collective. You might feel like you're always, you're the kind one, you're the person who has a good heart, you have good intentions, and you feel overlooked. It's not overlooked. You can't control how other people. This was a message that came through that I channeled. It was early in the morning. I think it's the one that posted just before this one. Or I don't know. um, but it's like you have to decide what you want to take with you, what you want to leave behind, and what you want to donate. Okay, so that was referring to lessons, interpersonal relationships, and the lessons that you learn when you're engaged with someone else. Okay, and I don't mean like literally engaged. I just mean like when you're interacting with other people. So don't focus on how other people respond to your kindness. As long as you're doing it for the right reasons, it doesn't matter. If you go into a situation where you're like, I'm going to do the right thing because I want them to give me flowers, I want them to like me, I want them to notice me, that might backfire. You're not going into it with the good intentions, right? If you do something just because it's the right thing to do, that is what's noticed. That's what's noted on to show me like the karmic record. That's what's noted. So it is never for naught. Don't worry about that. And then what came out, I was like, can you elaborate a little more then on the Six of Cups and on karma, and what we're saying, what we're talking about, karma, however you want to refer to it. And the Six of Coins came out. And this is about having enough to share with others and being generous with others. So that is what your kindness does. That is a part of who you are. It is the way that you serve. Much of what we do in this lifetime has to do with service to others, how you use your talents, how you use your skills, and how you utilize those skills and talent to serve humanity and to benefit humanity. It's not just about earning money. Of course, that component is there. We need to survive. But it's also about, the bigger picture, what you're doing. And again, the intentions behind them. So everyone has their karmic record. Everything is noted. When you do good for good reasons, it's noted. When you do bad, it's noted. When you are intentionally cruel and hurtful, it's noted. So don't ever They're showing me. I've been getting this a lot. Someone looking in the mirror at themselves. So this might be like a time of like really deep, you know, introspection for you. But don't look in the mirror and ask yourself, well, why am I being nice? Oh, dang. See? No, you're being who you are. And there's a reason for that. It's because that's who you are to your core. So don't don't doubt your generosity, don't doubt your kindness, don't doubt yourself. You are enough. If other people don't appreciate it, that is a them problem. That has nothing to do with you. Maybe you need to reevaluate who you're keeping in your life. Um, because these things, come on, there is nothing negative with being generous. This isn't talking about self sacrificing. This is talking about sharing what you have, sharing the extra that you have, right? Like your cup is overflowing. So your cup is full. You're just now bartering is coming through, maybe exchanging. It's like a good energy exchange. Okay, anyway, your cup is full. What you're giving others is from that overflow. So we're not talking about being self-sacrificing. That's also not that's another lesson that you're going to have to learn. Okay, if you are a self-sacrificing person, you're going to see that you're going to be placed in so many situations where you will not have a lot. And the test is going to be, are you going to be naive enough to give away? Oh, they're telling me there's some story about it took a week for someone to find a loaf of bread. Where did I just hear this? I don't know where I heard it. It took someone a week to find a loaf of bread, and then, someone came up to them telling them that they were hungry. And so this person who was struggling for a week to find that loaf of bread, instead of splitting it, gave the entire loaf to that other individual. Was that a wise thing to do? It took them a week. Their efforts went into procuring that food, that loaf, and then, you just gave it away. So there's a negative to that. It's, you want to be kind, you want to be generous, but again, self-sacrificing. You don't want to overlook your own needs. You have to survive on this plane too, okay? Keep that in mind. That is really what's coming through. So yeah, like I said, this is going to be a short message. I was just playing around with the cards, and these are the only, this card fell out first, and I asked them to elaborate. That's it. That's all that came out. So they wanted me to talk to you about karma or karma, and like karmic lessons, and just, if you put good energy out there, good will return to you. Okay? Hold on to that. Know that. Evaluate. They're showing me someone that's looking back on their timeline. So look back on your life and you'll see when you put good out there, it did come to you. It's like a boomerang. It's not necessarily right away. Maybe it takes some time, but it always comes to you. You are always taken care of. Follow those intuitive prompts. I'm telling you, connect with your guides and you will not go wrong. It doesn't mean that life, they're telling me to say this specifically, it does not mean that life is going to be easy. But when you're connected, you're not going to feel alone. Okay? You are going to really feel that connection and that love and support that they can give you through your trials. Because a huge part of why we're here is to learn and grow spiritually. So, if that's the case, that means that there are going to be some hard lessons to learn, some trials, tribulations. They're showing me Hercules, like going through the 12 tasks. So, or I think that's what it's called, right? Um, so yeah, there are going to be some demands that are placed on you. But the soul contract is coming up. We don't remember this, but we did sign a contract with, to come down here and learn certain lessons. But if you connect with your guides, they are going to help you. They're going to help you see through any of the illusions. You don't want to sit in that woe is me mentality. You want to look at something as, okay, how can I overcome this? How do I get through this? What do I do? They're showing me someone like climbing the ladder. So you're always ascending, okay, when you're going through these things. It doesn't feel like it. I know it's tough sometimes. Well, pretty often. Okay, but just remember, Look at this. Okay. It's never for nothing. And being generous, does not mean being self-sacrificing. As long as you keep that in mind, you're good. Your karma, they're showing me the karmic scales. It's balanced. That's what it's about. It's just balancing it, okay? We also don't know what happened in past lives, so sometimes there's some other lessons going on there. All right. Let me see. I'll see if anything else. Wow. That fell out. You will always reap the rewards. Okay. You will always come out on top. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. You see the snake. It doesn't matter what challenges. It doesn't matter what. Oh, remember I said see through the illusions. It doesn't matter what you're faced with. You will come out on top. Connect with your guides. Okay. All right. I think that's it. This was a good reminder reading. I think that's what this was. Just focus on living your life, doing your best, doing the right things for the right reasons. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, I just split it and there's the devil and the sun. Look at that. Seeing through the temptations. Okay, there's the snake again. But there's that sun. There is that sun. There are rewards. There's a good life. A good life lived just came through. Ooh. All right. Okay, we can go really deep if we keep talking about like karma, right? Um, this was nice. It's a nice short reading. All right. So just keep that in mind. I think that's the point of this one. So let me know if this resonates. Let me know if this was a good reminder for you. If you needed this, I hope you did. I hope this finds you when you need it most. Because we all go through that, kind of ups and downs. Even when you connect, trust me, I've been there. I sit there and I'm like, really, why? Why? You told me to do this. Why is this happening? Why are things crumbling now? And you guided me to this. But of course, on the other side, I see what the plan was after the fact. That's what stinks. We don't always know what's coming up, in front of us, and we don't always know the reward that lays on the other side. All right, but just know you'll always come out on top. Don't worry. Okay. All right. Well, whenever you see this, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Bye.